Hello everyone, I'm your host Anjali from INX Instagram Live, welcoming you all in our new show Spirit of Life. On this special show, we will discuss spirituality, mental health, wellness, and inner consciousness. In our very first episode, our guest is Sadhvi Bhagwati Saraswati Ji. Based in Rishikesh, Sadhvi Ji is a renowned spiritual leader and a motivational speaker. Originally from Los Angeles, a graduate of Stanford University and a PhD in psychology. Sadhvi Ji has lived on the banks of River Ganga in the lap of Himalayas for more than 25 years, engaged in spiritual service, wisdom teaching, sacred action, and deep spiritual practice. Namaskar, Sadhvi Ji. Jai Gange.
Jay Gange, namaste.
How are
So
you,
wonderful
ma'am?
together. Beautiful. How are you?
Me too. I'm good. Okay, so Sadhvi Ji, we have some questions from our youngster who are seeking to elevate their consciousness and transform their life. And the very first question came from our viewer Rishika from Prayagraj. Sadhviji, her question is: Parents keep interrupting me all the time regarding career. This irritates me a lot. I also feel mental stress. What should I do?
Parents keep interrupting me all the time regarding what?
Ji.
No, I'm so sorry. Can you just repeat that? You said my parents
Okay.
keep
Okay. Her question is: Parents keep interrupting me all the time regarding career. This irritates me a lot. I also feel mental stress. What should I do?
So whether the parents are piche piche pad rahe regarding career, regarding
Yeah.
any other aspect, what we have to realize is first of all, our parents have our best interest at heart. They're not trying to make us frustrated. They're not trying to upset us. They're not trying to distress us. They're actually trying to help us. They
Yeah.
understand that a career that's meaningful, that's fulfilling, is going to lead to more happiness in life, more fulfillment in life. So first of all, don't get angry at them.
Yeah.
Understand that they're not doing this आपको तंग करने के लिए. They're actually doing it for your benefit. So be grateful, love them for it, but also feel free to let them know in a very calm way, in a very loving way, in a very diplomatic way, that all of their constant input and interruptions and all of that, that it actually is causing you distress and that it's actually preventing you from finding the right path in life. And I'm sure that if you actually explain this to them, you can come together to a solution in which you say, okay, chalo, many me do bard, we will sit and have a discussion about my career. Like every second Saturday or every second Sunday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., we will talk about my career. Give them the time. Allocate the time, block the time away, because obviously they know this is an important subject. And it is an important subject. But it's also very difficult, very frustrating, very unsettling to be constantly nagged about something. So just tell them, Kitika, hum log, Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. or Sunday morning, 11 a.m., whenever you want, we will have this discussion. And then when you have the discussion, make sure that you are really open to them, that you're not defensive, that you're not offensive, that you're not reacting. Your parents grew up at a different time, a different generation. Things are moving and changing really fast. And they're coming at this from the perspective of what was right when they were your age. And it may be right for you, and it may not be right for you. But either way, they're coming at it with love. So you need to accept the love, respect the love, respond with love. And if what they're suggesting is not right for you, or the timeline they're giving you is not reasonable, help them understand. Give them a different timeline. Let them know what your goals are, What are you looking for? Help them understand. It's so easy for us to just say, shut up, leave me alone, don't disturb me. But that doesn't actually get us anywhere. Help them understand. Help them understand your vision, your aim, your path. And I'm sure that with love, with understanding, they will keep supporting you. But just help them support you in a way that's actually helpful, rather than them trying to support you in a way that's actually causing you distress.
Who lives in Uttarakhand. Okay, so his question is, I'm in a live-in relationship with my girlfriend, and because of that, my family members have ended all the relationship with me. I feel like committing suicide. What should I do?
What was the name of this person?
Siddharth.
Siddharth. So Siddharth, first of all, under no circumstances, for any reason, ever think about committing suicide. The nature of nature is change. Morning becomes afternoon, becomes evening, becomes night, becomes morning. Summer becomes autumn, becomes winter, becomes spring. The nature of nature is change. The situation you're in today is going to change. The struggles you have today will change. Yes, throughout our life, there are always struggles, there are always challenges, but they change. When you look back now, if you're in a live-in relationship with your girlfriend, I'm assuming you're probably in your 20s. If you look back on the struggles that you had when you were in school, when you were young, when you were a teenager, now you look back on them and you realize what the kuch bhi nahi tha. Seemed like everything that day. My best friend isn't talking to me. People are teasing me. I didn't make it on the sports team. Whatever it might be. It feels huge at that time. But when we look back on it, we're able to smile and to feel love and compassion for our younger self. But we've moved beyond it. And in the same way, as you grow, as you mature, as you age, you will look back on this situation with love, with compassion, but you will be on the other side of the challenge. You'll be on the other side of the struggle, the other side of the difficulty. So first and most importantly, under no circumstances, for any reason, ever, even think about committing suicide. And I understand that you're very upset and depressed. You would have to be very upset to think about committing suicide. And what that means is that your parents cutting you off has hurt you very deeply. They've put you a bit in what to me feels like an unfair situation of forcing you to choose between your girlfriend and them, or forcing you to get married immediately, if that's what they want. As I said just a few minutes ago to the other question, things are changing. Social norms change. Values don't. Values stay the same. But the way that those values get manifested and unfolded in society, in our lives, they change. Things were different in India 100 years ago, 50 years ago, even 20 years ago. Which means that when your parents were your age, the social norms, the societal norms, that which we would call pap and punya, that which is right, that which is wrong, was different. And again, on a deep spiritual value-based level, of course, it's always the same. It's why we refer to our dharma as sanatana. It's eternal. It doesn't change. But the way that sanatana dharma is manifest and expressed in our world, in our homes, in our communities, in our societies, in our relationships, in our choices, in our careers. That keeps changing. And what it seems to me we have is a situation where you're living in a much more kind of modern perspective that says, why not live in before we get married? Why not test it out? Why not make sure we're compatible? And they're living from a perspective that has existed a lot longer than the new one, which is, hare ye to bahut paap hai, kar kya re? How can they be doing this? This is sinful, this is disgraceful. And you need to find a bridge. You need to find a bridge. I pray that your parents understand how valuable and important you are to them, regardless of what choice you make, so that they bridge this. But it's also really important for you to go to them. Because if somebody cuts us off, it's so easy to be just angry and reactive. If they won't speak to you, write them a letter. Explain to them how much it hurts you that they've cut you off, how much you need them, how much you respect them. Let them know how much you respect the values, the sanskaras, the ethics that they've given you. And then explain this decision. Help them understand that this is not rooted in lust or passion or ignorance or impulsiveness. Give them the reasons. Why are you not wanting to get married now? How long are you planning to just test it out? What are your plans? Show them that you've actually thought about it. Because when parents see us do things, just mein lagta hai ki hum soch nahi rahe, then they become very worried. Show them that actually you are thinking, that there is a method, there's a reason, there's a purpose, there's a plan. What is your plan? What are you waiting to see? How long are you going to give it? What are the cues you're looking for? Give them some kind of a timeline. Help them understand. And really let them know that this is not a sign of disrespect, that you're not looking to embarrass them in front of others. Because that's the other problem is, oh my God, samne wale kya sochenge? Samne wale kya kahenge? And so help them understand that you understand that they're going through that, but that hopefully their relationship with you is more important than samne wale kya kahenge, and that pressure that they're under. So reach out, make a bridge, reconnect. They're your parents after all. They love you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope Siddharth has got his answer. Sadhvi ji, our next question is from Lovedeep, who lives in Punjab. Her question is, have been cheated many times in life in the name of relationship. I don't know how to trust person. Please guide me.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's so hard to open our hearts again after we've been betrayed. But what you have to realize is that if you don't open your heart, you are closing yourself off to the very power of love. What those former relationship people have done is their own ignorance, their own arrogance, their own lust, their own illusion, their own fallenness, lowness, adharma. But just because someone else is ignorant or is arrogant or is living in adharma, that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to feel love. It doesn't mean that you don't deserve that divine connection. So recognize that, yeah, they acted wrongly. Absolutely. And they will have the karmic consequences for that. But you deserve freedom. You deserve love regardless of what they did to you. So yeah, it's hard, I know. It's hard to trust again when we've been hurt. But you have to trust, because living closed, living contracted, it suffocates you. And you don't want to suffocate. Maybe before you begin opening your heart to human beings again, maybe begin easily. Maybe begin by opening your heart to trees. Start spending time in nature. Hug trees. Feel that power of the divine connection with nature. Put your hands in the soil. Watch animals. Connect with nature. Feel that presence of nature. Open your heart to it. And of course, open your heart to God. Work on opening your heart to love and bhakti, devotion for God. Sing kirtan. Surround yourself with other devotees. Go to kirtan. Go to satsang. Be in the presence of people who love God. And as you find yourself able to love God, to trust and have faith in God, to love nature, to hug trees, slowly, 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 your heart will melt and it'll begin to open again. But just remember and then remember and then remember all over again that you being betrayed had nothing to do with you. You are worthy. You are lovable. You are beautiful. You are divine. What happened to you is because of their karmic packages that thrust them into lack of dharma, lack of integrity, untruthfulness, lust. Don't allow yourself to suffer anymore because of someone else's ignorance. Let yourself be free.
Okay. Okay, I hope Lavdeep you got your answer. That trusting again is difficult, but you have to. Okay, so Sadhvi Ji, one of our viewer, Ashwani is from Noida, and his question is, I know it's not right to be angry every time, but I cannot control my anger. What should I do?
Great. So we have to control our anger, otherwise our anger controls us. Those are the only two options. Either you are controlled by your emotions or you control your emotions. But what's important to realize is controlling them is not about subjugation. It's not about oppression or repression or excuse me, or denial or anything like that. We're not ignoring it. What we're doing is becoming aware of it before it grabs us. So something happens, something triggers us, and we start to notice that we're getting agitated. In that moment, that first moment that you begin to notice that your heart is beating a little faster, that maybe your palms are a little sweatier, that your mind is contracting, in that first moment, stop. Just stop. Take a walk. Drink water. Listen to beautiful, soothing music. Chant your mantra. Read a poem. Write a poem. Do whatever you need to do. Do deep breathing. Do meditation. Do yoga. Do jumping jacks. Go for a run. Do whatever you need to do to shift the energy. But grab it before it grabs you. And that's what our practice of meditation and mindfulness and awareness gives us. Because otherwise we only realize we're angry when we already have our fist through a wall or through someone else's face, or we've already shouted obscenities at someone we love, or we've already drank, a 6-pack of beer, or taken drugs, or eaten a whole chocolate cake, or done whatever we do when we're angry. We only realize it afterwards. This is why we need awareness. It's why we need meditation. It's why we need mindfulness practice, because it teaches us how. We're able to see, anger is coming. It's coming toward me. I see it. I feel it. And you're able to redirect it. Remember, we're not oppressing. We're not saying you're wrong, you're bad. We're not saying go away. We're simply understanding that anger is an energy. And we're taking that energy and we're redirecting it. We're redirecting it into exercise. We're redirecting it into something creative. We're redirecting it into spiritual pursuits. But we're just taking that energy and redirecting. Another thing you can do is the moment you notice that anger is coming, just sit down and close your eyes. Sit in a meditative posture and just allow the wave of anger to come. And what you'll notice is you keep the awareness on the breath. So don't allow the mind to get all caught up in the story. It's not about the story. Keep the mind on the breath, the awareness on the breath, and just allow that wave of anger. What'll happen is it comes, it rises, it rises, it rises, it rises. It feels like it's going to kill us or we're going to explode, but we don't. We just keep sitting and breathing. And it rises and it rises. And then it peaks. And then it crashes and it recedes, just like a wave on the ocean. And this is a very good practice to do when you find that you're a little too late in catching the anger, that you didn't get it from far away, you didn't get it door say, that by the time you realized you were angry, that wave is already up on you. And a glass of water is not going to do anything for you. It's right there. The wave is right there. In that moment, just sit down, close the eyes, bring the awareness to the breath. Stop the mind from giving you the story over and over again. So stop the verbal repetition of why you're angry. You can chant a mantra instead. You can just chant Om instead. You can chant Shanti instead. And just allow the wave, like the wave of an ocean, to peak and crash. If you've ever gone swimming in the ocean, what you know is, if you see a wave coming from really far away, you're able to get out of the ocean in time. But if you don't see it until it's right there, you don't actually have time to turn around and run out before the wave gets you. It's faster than you are. You can't outrun a wave when it's right there. And so what people who are good swimmers do, you dive under the wave. When you learn to swim, this is what you're taught. When the wave comes, don't turn your back on it. Don't try to outrun it. Dive into it. But dive so deep that there actually is no wave. The wave is on the surface. You dive as deep as you can. And then what you'll find is when you come up on the other side, the wave is back there. Wave has gone one way, you've gone another way. So when that wave of anger is there, just dive deep. Not into the story, not into the drama, not re-rehearsing all of the narrative, but just into the energy of the anger, like the energy of a wave. You drop deep. You bring the awareness to the breath, and you just allow the wave to peak and crash. And then it dissipates. and you're still there.
Unmute कर.
You're Anjali, you're muted. You're muted. I can't hear you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. And a last but very important question is from Apurva, who lives in Varanasi. Her question is, I got addicted to drugs in my college life. Now I'm not able to leave it even if I want to. Tell me, what should I do?
There are times in our life when we're suffering from something that we don't have the tools to handle on our own. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Sometimes we need assistance. If you had diabetes and through your diet, through exercise, you couldn't control your insulin levels, you would need a doctor to help you control them. They'd give you medicine, they'd monitor you. You wouldn't be expected to treat and heal that on your own. Drug addiction is something that in many, many cases, most cases in fact, we actually need professional assistance. Don't feel ashamed at all. You now have a chemical imbalance in your brain. When you've got a chemical imbalance in your pancreas, in your kidneys, in your spleen, we go to the doctor. We get medicine. We get treatment. Nobody would say, why can't you balance your bile, your insulin on your own? We understand that we need some help. The drug addiction has created a chemical imbalance in your brain, in your body, that's actually now dependent on it. Let yourself get some really good professional help. My recommendation would be to actually check yourself into a very good detox program, at least 4 weeks. Check yourself in somewhere. You know that for 4 straight weeks, you will not use drugs. And you will get the tools to work with whenever urges come. You'll get tools of how to restructure your life, how to restructure your thinking, so that when you leave, you don't go back. Don't try to do this on your own. Get help from people who really can help you, because you deserve it.
Thank you so much for your okay. Thank you, Sadhvi Ji. Thank you for your meaningful answer. I agreed with every single line you said, and thank you so much for your guidance. I hope this will help a lot to our viewers. So, friends, I hope that you have definitely gotten your guidance from these answers. Now it's time to signing off. If you like this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe INX Instagram Live. Till then, goodbye and keep watching INX Instagram Live. Jai Gange Sadhvi Ji.
Jay, Jay, so much love. And by the way, just lastly, to let people know, I do an evening satsang live every day at Karmarthikathon after the Ganga Arati. So if any of the viewers have questions, they should feel free to put them in the comments here below this. And our Seva team will take the questions for our satsang. We'll also take the questions for the Spirit of Life column that I have in iNext every week.
Yeah,
So any questions that anyone has, please feel free to just put them in the comments here.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Sadhvi Ji. Thank you for your guidance. Jai Gange.